welcome to a new segment I will be adding to my weekly readings for the foreseeable future. I am making some changes to how I do this as a result of some pretty intense level ups and breakthroughs. More on that later. That being said, I will no longer be doing astrology segments on my weekly reads. Tarot only. Monthly astrology on Patreon will now be tarot monthly readings. I understand this might seem like a curveball to some, but please understand with these latest shifts that have been happening, they've been profound, and I will go where my higher levels take me. However, I would like to make a point of saying here and now, me choosing to move from public astrology horoscopes is not driven by opinion. In fact, I will still be offering astrology for personal readings, just not horoscopes. Thank you again for so much of your ongoing support, and now let's get on to your video. Hello and welcome everybody, NICO Scarlet Moon here with your Pathwatcher report. Coming in to stay, we have a wave personified by the Empress and the Sun, a frequency vibrating the return of the pure self and a reclamation of the true journey. Not just this week, but henceforth there is an increasing feeling of release, a true return of innocence. Because of the breaking apart of distorted contrivances in the collective experience, this deep purification of the spiritual and emotional fields may feel unsettling for some during this period, but only at first. This is the elimination of constructs dependent on artifice, scripts, and illusion. This is both euphoric and disorienting in the beginning. However, depending on an individual's level of consciousness and what they carry in their energy fields, acclimation times may vary person to person. Consider the Sunday Unity meditations I have been sharing of late for a chance to lean in to these frequencies and adjust. I'll include links in the down bar below. Cyclical experiences are being rerouted to more natural and forward trajectories. Conscious creation and co-creation through intent and focus are getting a tremendous amplification. Many of us felt this new wave kick into high gear mid-last week, February 25th to 27th. Feel the freedom from imposed experience. Allow yourself time to connect and take on this new level. Feel the return of that early life childhood connection to truth. On a personal note, since about the 18th of February, I've been having recurring dreams and flashes of a friend I have not seen nor spoken to since we were 7. If you're watching this, feel free to contact me through the Scarlet Moon Facebook page or my Instagram at ScarletMoonNico. Hi there, Gemini, and all of you Gemini-identified folks out there, Sun, Moon, Rising. This is your weekly tarot reading for the week starting March 2nd, 2020. And just a quick reminder for everybody out there, should you ever wish to go ahead and get a session with me, you do need to go to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com, or of course you may also follow the links below. And I also want to remind people who may have skipped the intro, which I hope you didn't, but if you are worried about me not doing astrology general clips anymore, general horoscopes for astrology, remember, I do offer astrology still as a personal reading service, just no longer general horoscopes with it, okay? So, and I'll put out a video explaining what's going on with that here very soon, so stay tuned. So what is going on when it comes to the coming week? Well, we've already talked about the incoming wave, what's not just coming in for the week, but what's here to stay. So that was also a part of the intro. But for your week, we've actually got some very interesting turns, when it comes to focusing on the demand for order, health, function, healing, empowerment, all kinds of good stuff. Especially as we step with the archetypal themes into the Strength card upright. Now the Strength card is basically going to be orienting you and sort of reordering your experience or reordering your life towards the things that are actually going to be in the highest interest of all concerned as it relates to coherence, balance, health. We talk about the law of vibration, things, actually moving in the direction of what they actually hold and resonate with. But with the Strength card, I'm actually seeing also a bit of a gratuitous grace and a gratuitous mercy this week as we have this orientation or this big shift in all areas of your life. This is, again, the background energy affecting everything for you, pushing you into a space where your needs on all levels are actually going to start to get better met. Now with the Strength card upright, this can be done with a bit of forcefulness, and I want you to understand that we might not always know, or at least our lower levels might not always know, or our lower expressions might not always know where in the long run something is healthy or not healthy, right? Sometimes that happens. And so with the Strength card upright, it can sometimes feel like we are being carried in a direction we didn't know what we were asking for. And the truth is, it's following our intention versus our expression. And that is the mercy. That is the grace. Because most of the time, the energy follows your expression. And your intention, if it is countermanded by your expression, then guess what? Nothing happens at all. But luckily, we have a bit of a saving grace this week. With the Strength card upright, there's also going to be a reordering of other spaces around you. People and circumstances, there's going to have, they're going to have sort of a forceful push towards, no, things have to go in the direction of function now. Things have to go in the direction of fortification of health, abundance, happiness, and of course, the best interest of all concerned. The Strength card is also carrying you away from certain situations that might actually kind of throw us off balance, or things that have become too polarized this week, whether it's polarized in one way or polarized in another. There is a focus towards coherence and balance. And sometimes this will feel very, very good, and sometimes it will feel very, very inconvenient. Just ride it out, okay? In fact, as we get to news and arrivals, we have the Eight of Swords upright, and this is where we get to the tough test, I think, because it feels like there is something calling you to a better place, whether it's socially, whether it's literally your living situation, or maybe your job, or something going on with, with a current obligation or commitment that you have. There's something calling you to a better place, but it's almost as though, yes, we have to face an attachment to a cycle, or to a routine, or maybe, just sort of an everyday way of being that we're not feeling done with, that we're maybe too attached to. And what the interesting thing is I'm getting with this is that we know it's not healthy. We can sort of rationally understand why something doesn't make sense or why it doesn't work, but maybe psychologically, emotionally, there's something we're stuck on that needs to go. And with the Eight of Swords, we have this challenge to sort of overcome, and make it through the swamp of sadness, so to speak, and not sink. Don't get triggered, all of us 80s kids. Because with the Eight of Swords, what often happens is we understand, right? We are the ones turning a blind eye. We understand that we are the ones who could cut ourselves out at any time. We are understanding that there is a way out, but we have to face the small ego that says, I don't want to. But I don't want to. The thing about this that I'm getting, though, is this call is to a better circumstance. It is a better situation. We just have to leave a narrative or an investment in an outcome that won't happen behind. Now on to some incentive. With the material business, material and business, we have the Nine of Pentacles upright. And I feel like there is some kind of early return with a bonus coming your way as it relates to a financial or professional priority or financial or professional matter. I feel like this is something that is growing out of almost like a hope that you didn't know if you were allowed to have high expectations for, whether this is a project, whether this is a job prospect, maybe a financial transaction, or simply money or material resources themselves, that you weren't sure how things were going to go in that exchange. In fact, the Nine of Pentacles upright is promising that this could actually be sort of a new normal for an indefinite amount of time. In fact, I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles, a lot of you are seeing a big breakthrough or a big break. However, it will be asking very much that we leave our Eight of Swords obsession behind us, or our Eight of Swords routine, or our Eight of Swords lifestyle, wherever it happens. It's an archetype. We all have to go through these things every once in a while. The material and business concerns of this matter ultimately will shift you in a much more positive direction. And I feel like with the Nine of Pentacles upright, you are going to be feeling that health and security, especially in your material world, if you follow it. As we get to love and relationships, well, we've got the Two of Swords upright. And in that commitment to the Strength card, a lot of you Gemini people are actually kind of taking a step back from maybe a plan or maybe some kind of future that you and an existing partner, or maybe you and somebody new if you're available, have been examining that doesn't quite resonate with either of you. Because I'm looking at the Two of Swords and I'm seeing sort of a step back, an abstinence from maybe something that we almost feel like we're just being pushed into doing, as opposed to actually having it come up naturally from our true selves, our true expressions. And it's the right decision to make, because with the Two of Swords upright, this entire story or this entire narrative or this entire circumstance has yet to reveal itself for what it could be. And there could actually be better options, whether it's you and a partner deciding to hold back when it comes to maybe a certain plan of action you're making with other family members, or something you're doing with your social lives, or maybe something you just want to have together, or maybe you deciding to slow it down a little bit when it comes to maybe committing to a certain person if you're dating around. The Two of Swords is indicating that it's not necessarily to say that the next thing will always be better, but more time needs to be given to flesh things out, and a lot of fleshing out will be happening this week. So if you're asking, or you're being asked to sort of get into more of a commitment towards a new course, be careful when it comes to love and romance not to do it early on in the week, because you're going to find that the longer you wait, maybe until about Thursday, Friday, Saturday, things are going to actually surprise you in a much more cool way, in a much more agreeable way. And I think that all people involved will be happy that they decided to let things flesh out. So that is your reading for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. You know I appreciate it. And should you ever wish to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com. Or, of course, you may open the down bar and follow the links below.